What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Aydian here, and welcome to Histo something that I named this episode number 3. In this episode, I'm gonna answer a question I've been getting a lot of. It seems to be the theme of these videos, which I'm totally cool with. Helps me think a little bit more about it, helps us have more of a conversation on this channel, and I appreciate all the questions I get, so please continue to leave comments below with your questions and thoughts and concerns or other things you may have to add to this series. Let's do it! Alright, so today's question is I'm just gonna mumble all the questions and DMs and comments that I've gotten. And it has to do with giving up the ability to have a child, and harvesting eggs so that you could have your own biological child in the future. So I'm gonna start backwards. Harvesting eggs. I don't know everything about it. I've never done it, and I don't actually know anyone who's done it. But I have heard a lot of things, and I've done some research when I first started testosterone because I knew that when I started testosterone, I was not gonna be able to have children. So, this is what I learned. You have to be off of testosterone for a certain amount of time. What I've collected is that it has to be the amount of time that it would take for you to start your menstruational cycle again, which could vary per person. Could be a month, could be 2 months, could be 6 months, 8 months, depends on your body and when you're gonna start generating the eggs again so that you would start having your menstruation cycle. 2, it's not just about having your cycle. You will have to take some type of hormone that you will have to inject into your belly, or I'm assuming where your ovaries are closest to generate more than the average amount of eggs so that they can take the eggs and store them. This hormone or injection of some kind makes you produce lots of eggs instead of just one, or sometimes some biological female people will produce 2 eggs at a time, but most people have 1. These shots will make you do multiples. 3rd, you have to have a very invasive surgery. So they have to get to your eggs. Now, when I remember doing the research, it was pretty invasive. Now, there's lots of robotic, laparoscopic things they can do with that. So something tells me there's probably an easier way to grab those eggs and store them, but it is surgery invasive. You do have to get a surgery. 4, you have to be able to store these eggs. So just like if you have sperm, people will store sperm all the time, you're going to have to store these eggs. So it depends, if you're 18 and you want to have a kid when you're 28, you've got to store it for 10 years. I don't know how much that costs, but I know that storing other things costs a lot of money. So you have to also plan for that. So those are kind of the 4 basic things I know about how to store your eggs so that you could possibly have biological child in the future. When I was younger and a lesbian, I kind of wanted to have a baby. I was thinking about it. I was not 100% sure about it. At the time, I had a partner who was African American. I thought it'd be really cool if we could have a baby together because then we could have a mixed race child and raise that child together. Obviously, I'm not with that person anymore. Those were like 16-year-old dreams, type of stuff. When you like 16 or 15, and you fall in love and you're like, I'm gonna be with this person forever and this is how our life's gonna go. It's really the only time I've thought about having children. As I got older and I was just about to transition, I knew that I probably wouldn't be the one having the child, that my partner probably would be the one having the child. Then when I started testosterone, I was like, okay, that's fine. I don't really plan on having a child myself anyway, so I can give up my ability, my privilege of being able to produce a child in my womb. So now I will say, as Jenny Lee is pregnant, and it's kind of ironic that her womb is expanding and mine is going to be removed soon, I was still a little attached to this organ. And as I said in my first video, I already had top surgery. I don't really want to get hysterectomy because I just felt like if I didn't need it, if it wasn't bothering me, if it wasn't cramping or anything, then why get it? And also I didn't want anyone to take anything else from me. Like, there's my body. I actually started to like my body. You can't have anything from me. But obviously I started cramping, started getting some negative side effects of being on testosterone for so long, and my uterus having its say in kind of its malnourishment, for lack of really good terminology here. And so I did feel an attachment to this, and this is what I get a lot of people saying, is that they feel attached to their uterus. Are they still a man? Are they still trans? Yes, like it's still like, you know, there are tons of trans women who get bottom surgery and they're like, you know, they're still slightly attached to their genitals. I mean, these are body parts, right? Like nobody wants anything to be taken from them. They almost wish that it could just be what it was supposed to be in the beginning, right? So there is that grieving process. Just like people say when they start T, oh, I'm really scared to start T. Should I not start T? I think you really have to look at it from a good perspective. Are you nervous to get a hysterectomy because it's a surgery and you're afraid, or are you afraid to start T because you're starting T and it's a big thing, you know? When you go on a roller coaster, you're kind of freaking scared at first, right? But is it just that fear, or is this a fear of like, oh my gosh, this could be the wrong decision in my life? What if I change my mind halfway through? I can't go back. I mean, those are things that you really need to sit down, think about, and decide if this surgery or whatever you're gonna do is for you. So for me, I just don't really want the surgery. It's not my favorite part of life, getting put under and cut open and things removed from me. But I don't have this ultimate fear of like, oh my gosh, what if I decide I don't want to have like my own child or something like that? That's not really a thought for me. So with that being said, and with Jaylee and I's baby on the way, a lot of people are like, well, I want my child to be biologically mine. And again, I'm not at the point in our Jaylee and I's life that we want to share where our donor came from. But with that aside, people need to release this concept of the biologicalness of your child. It is too much, in all honesty. Like, the biology of your child is only going to determine their DNA, maybe what hair color they have, what eye color they are, you know what I mean? The facial features, their height, that's it. Like, I really truly believe the nature versus nurture in the concept that the nature part of it is, yeah, the sperm and the egg and the DNA, and now creating new DNA to make a person, okay, a human being. But as far as the nurturing, like, I've literally seen with my own eyes on first accounts, like, adopted children that act just like their father. You know what I mean? Or act just like their mother. And it's like, this child was adopted since they were first born. They were handed over to their mother and father, not their biological mother and father. I don't even like that terminology. But the concept is that, like, it's only determining what they're gonna look like. That's it. When you have a baby and you hold that infant in your hands, and I haven't even experienced, but I can only imagine, that's it. You're the mom, you're the dad, you're the parent, you're the whatever you want to be called by that child. And to hold your connection to a child, you know, this was based off of an email that I received recently. If you hold your identity with this child based on their DNA, it's going to prevent you from getting close to your child, as close as you possibly can. That's it. End of conversation. I mean, I really am over the whole biology is, you know, their bio father and their bio mother. No, that's just not it. You know, to me, mother and father are the people who take care of you and watch after you. That's what they are. That's who your parent is, you know? All this biology stuff, I mean, give me a break, you know, like, especially if you're using a sperm donor. So, like, the 23-year-old kid who needed some extra money because he was kind of broke, that's the biological father? I don't know. I don't know about all that. I'm not into the terminology. I'm not into how it makes people feel on either side. I don't think the 23-year-old should feel like he's got children out there, because he doesn't have children out there. His DNA, yeah, his DNA is spread out, but that's not even him. His DNA is then mixed with the female body person's DNA, and then they make all new DNA. So that it's a lot, and I understand people's concern and their want and their need and desire to have a biological child of their own, and I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't try for that if it's important to you, but I just think that you really need to establish what mother and father or parent means to you. And to me, you know, has nothing to do with those people and everything to do with the person who is there for the child, who loves the child, who takes care of the child, who makes sacrifices for that child, and who teaches that child how to be a good person in the world. that is the parent. Call it mother, call it father, call it parent, make up your own damn word, I don't care, but that's the person that actually matters. So do not allow DNA to get in the way of you being close to your child. All right, that's it. If you have an adopted child, if you have used donors or anything, share your story below. I'd love to hear it. I know other people would love to hear it. If you are adopted, let me know. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you disagree with what I'm saying? I want to know if it's coming from a good place from you, then it will come from a good place from me. So I appreciate all the feedback. Otherwise, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please check out my other videos, hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on, and you'll get a notification every time I make a video, and you can come watch it on your own damn time. All right, catch you in the next video, everybody. Peace.